What's up, Agents of Infinity? Welcome back to It's Nothing Personal, the podcast where I attempt to turn random conversations with strangers into moments of extraordinary vulnerability, insight, and connection. I am your host, Mason Robin. First things first, some of you may have noticed I am publishing this episode a day late. I figured it appropriate I take a moment to acknowledge that and give myself a little slap on the wrist. It only took me a week to fall short of keeping to the schedule I announced. But, shit happens. We'll do better next week. To keep pace with my recent slacking, I'm not going to include a real description of this episode. Try not to get triggered. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Whichever one, man.
How are you?
Up to you. See, it's right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool, dude. Let's see, brother. We're taking you that.
Sir.
Alright.
Who's the one passenger you pissed off that you're not 5-star?
The one?
I always hate seeing that shit. Almost 5-star.
It's sometimes the way they do. You know how they calculate it?
Huh.
So they give you 500, right? You have your most recent 500 ratings is how they calculate your average, and they just do so. Like a 5-star rating is 2,500 stars over 500 trips, right? So they just divide it by 5, basically, or they divide it by 500, and that's how they get it. So whatever number of total stars you have, they divide by 500. And I think they round down, which is kind of annoying, but but so I'm at like 488 5-star ratings, and then it's one person in 50. It's one person in 50.
Right.
Who has a problem. And sometimes, look, okay, I'm a human being, right? Like, look, first of all, I'm not for everyone. I'm not. That's okay. That's fine. I don't want to have a perfect rating. You know
That's
why?
fair enough.
You know why? Because that means I'm not fucking being a human correctly.
I dig it. Yeah.
If I have a perfect rating, that means I'm showing up like a fucking robot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
You gotta have that human connection.
Right. And it's like, look, it's not gonna go over well with everyone.
Right.
So I think last night I got a 1-star last night, but here's why. And I know when it happens.
Yeah.
I know when things don't go well.
For sure.
And like I play my role, other people play their role, but my thing is like, since I'm not showing up as a robot, it's not really okay to me for other people to show up like a robot either.
Agreed. Yeah.
Or to treat me like I'm a robot.
Absolutely.
So last night they had these 2 people get in, and I can be a little overt, or maybe not aggressive. What's my friends describe me as abrasive. Okay, fine. I'm okay being abrasive. Whatever, I don't care. It's like, everyone loves sandpaper.
Absolutely.
We're like, just get the right grain on it, right?
Right.
But so this couple gets in last night. It was around 9:30, 10 p.m., something like that.
Yeah.
Picked them up downtown, and I ended up, they got in, and I could just feel the tension. I could just feel the tension between them, right?
Right.
And so they got in, and I was like, hey, how's your night going? And so the girl was over here, and the guy was where you are, and she was just like, it's fine. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of just let that sit for a second.
Yeah.
I let that sit for a second, and I was like, probably about like 30 seconds. And I was like, you guys seem really tense. Like, what's going on? And she was just like, it's just cold. And I was like, I said, I call bullshit on that.
Right.
It's not that cold outside. And they were like, they had enough clothes on.
Right.
That she was just, she was diverting. Or it's like, my thing is like, okay, I am attuned enough to realize there's something going on.
Oh yeah.
Don't give me some bullshit. And so I told her straight up, like, I call bullshit on that. It's not that cold outside. And she didn't say anything, nor did
Right.
he. But the thing is, neither, because like I'm pretty sure they were a couple,
Right.
but they sat
Oh,
across from one another,
yeah.
right, and did not communicate the entire time. They didn't say a word to one another, right? It's like because I
Yeah.
shut my as soon
Yeah.
as I was like I call bullshit on that. It's not that cold outside. She never responded, but I didn't say anything else after that.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything else. I just called bullshit on what she told me, you know.
Yeah.
But I know I was right because they did not speak a word to one another,
Dude, that's crazy.
and it was like a 20-minute ride.
Oof.
They sat there in silence for like 20 minutes.
Dude, yeah, something down.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And but don't bullshit me,
No.
you know, because like you know what, maybe I could have moderated a healthy conversation between the two of you,
Absolutely.
just maybe,
Yeah.
you know. But and look, I don't enter with the expectation that people are gonna
Right.
dump their personal lives on me.
For sure.
They do a lot
I bet.
because I'm receptive to it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things we need as people is to be received.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of us have a hard time knowing how to do that because we haven't had it done for us enough,
Yeah, I can see that.
you know. And I just try to be the person who does that. You know, I try to and I've cultivated that skill doing this work,
Right.
you know. And so it's it's not that I'm demanding in that regard, but like if she would have said, "Yeah, we're just having a rough night,"
Yeah.
as opposed to "It's cold outside," I, you know, that would have been acceptable to me.
Absolutely.
That and you know,
Sure,
like
yeah.
it's you know what I mean, just to like literally just to be real and say like, "Hey, we're having a rough night. You know, we don't want to talk about it or
Yeah.
something," and that's a human fucking response,
Exactly.
you know,
Human interaction.
and that would have been like I said, you don't have to divulge your entire fucking.
Right.
You don't have to tell me all the fine details, but just be a fucking human being, you know.
Be real.
And I've gotten to the point. It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, someone gets in here with like super strong negative energy.
Mm.
You know, here's the energy that gets you kicked out of my car. You treat me like I'm your servant. Yeah, because and that
Yeah.
happens like maybe once in every 200 to 250 people.
Okay.
It's a very rare person who gets in and just like does not clearly does not acknowledge me as a human.
Can't even fathom that.
You know what?
That's
It's the strangest thing. But I can tell like as they're getting in, or like
right.
if they send me messages before they even get in, you know, and I'll just be like, get in, fill the, and I won't start the trip because I want to fill them out for a
Yeah.
second because I usually know. And after I fill them out, I just be like, you know what? I don't like your attitude. You can get out.
Good for you.
You know, straight up. 'Cause, I mean, but that's how we hold one another accountable.
Absolutely.
That is how we hold one another
Yeah.
accountable. Is we say like your attitude, your behavior sucks. I don't want to be around you. Because like you
Yeah.
know, I'm not. This is my car,
Right.
and this is my work. Like I don't have to accept any trip that I don't want to.
That's
I don't
cool.
have to do any of the work I don't want to do. And if you get in here with the wrong, like it takes a lot. You know, it's a very rare person.
Right.
But if you get in here with that attitude, get the fuck out.
I dig it.
You know, but I think that's necessary.
It
I think
is.
we need to be that way because that's how we adjust culturally.
Yeah. I just wish it was a more accepted way to go about things. I'm a nurse, and people treat us like
To
shit.
put people in check.
Yeah.
Well,
Like we can only go so far before we're not, caring for the patient in their entirety and being accepting. It's like, no, I don't need to accept being treated like trash.
but there's probably aren't you guys like by law obligated to do certain things? I think that's tricky territory,
It is.
man. It's like okay, I do believe in the free market.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in the free market. I would say like as far as emergency services go,
Yeah.
emergency that there should be number one, which I'm sure there should be a very strict vetting process for who works
Oh,
in
yeah.
emergency rooms, for who performs emergency
For
services,
sure.
right? That, and I'm sure the vetting process is, well, cops can, we need more training for our cops. We need more investment in our law enforcement.
Yep.
And in our first responders, we need more investment there if they're going to do their job well. But to emergency room staff and stuff, I think the vetting process and like the resources they have is probably pretty robust.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's good. And I do think they should be held because like they're the first line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like these are life and death situations, and it's like we really need those people.
I worked in the emergency room for 9 out of my 13 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of shit.
Just if you can have a nightmare about it, I've seen it.
Yeah, but then whenever it comes to like non-essential, or that's where I would draw the line.
Right.
Non-essential medical care. There should be no law involved in regulating that. Well, okay, well, not regulating, but you shouldn't be required by law to perform non-essential medical care. Ever.
I totally
Never. I don't know if it is required by law to perform non-essential medical care, but it shouldn't be required.
Essentially, once a patient is in the walls of the hospital, whether it's for surgery or if you go to the emergency room because you have a hangnail, yes, I've seen it. Once you're checked in, I am by law required to provide care.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I think there should be a hierarchy of priority.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like, hey, you have a hangnail, we're gonna put you take ticket number 175.
Right.
You know, and if something comes up that's more important, you're gonna get pushed back.
Well, what's worse, that dude with the hangnail came in screaming top of his lungs how bad it hurt and that he needed Dilaudid right now.
Is this like an ingrown toenail or a hangnail on his?
Hangnail, yeah.
It's fucking psycho.
Yeah. He was drug seeking.
And that's the thing, is like there need to be more clearly, because I didn't know really too much about it, and I still don't know too much about it, but now I know more from what you just told me than I knew before you got in here, right?
Absolutely.
And clearly it needs to be better designed.
Oh yeah.
Because at the same time, like, as care providers, you should be able to prioritize who deserves your attention now.
Absolutely.
You know, you should be able to prioritize that. And also you should be able to deny service at your discretion. Like, for instance, and this is one that becomes controversial very quickly, but as far as abortions go,
yeah,
I do personally believe that should be federally protected.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be a federally protected right, just personally.
Yeah.
But also I think as far as you have the right to seek an abortion. You have the right to seek an abortion. That does not mean you have the right to an abortion. Because if you have the right to an abortion, that means someone else has to deliver that service to you when you request it.
Right.
Anyone who wants to should be able to deny you that service by their discretion. If they don't want to do it, they shouldn't have to do it.
Absolutely.
But it should be a federally protected right to pursue an abortion.
And see, stated the way you said, under that caveat, I would support it. Where, as of right now, I don't agree with the right to abortions, and one of those.
But the right to demand one. Yeah. The right to demand one. Fuck that. No, exactly. You don't get to demand it. There's a thing called due process, honey.
Yeah.
You know, and sorry, not to like belittle women or anything, but like I think in certain cases, but there should be mitigating circumstances too. True. You know, to where like if you got raped and now you're pregnant, you get to like, we're gonna prioritize finding like you will have like government assistance if you apply for it.
Yeah.
Finding a care provider. We will pay for you to go to another state, another city if you need to, because you should not. You don't deserve this. You didn't earn this.
Yeah.
Right? If you are in a situation where either the life of your unborn child or your life are in jeopardy, there are mitigating circumstances. Absolutely. Right? But due process. I think we've lost sight of due process.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken care of people. One gal I remember vividly, she had 13 abortions in her life. She was using it as birth control. And then all of a sudden she's like, no, I want to keep this one. But because of all of her abortions, it made her extremely high risk.
At risk, yeah.
She had to be admitted to the hospital for the last 4 months.
You mind if I use my vape, by the way? Can I use my vape?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. The last 4 months, she was in the hospital being cared for day in, day out, every hour of every day. She was on Medicaid. So on top of that, you and I, as taxpayers, were paying for her to be in the hospital for 4 months because she chose to have 13 abortions.
And that's one of those things where it's like, it's a tough situation.
It is.
Because, like, how do you decide whose access to an abortion is justified and whose is not?
Right.
You know, so, like, we would need to sit down and have a real adult discussion about the consequences involved, the ethics involved.
Absolutely.
You know, and, like, I think the main question, and it's not only, like, obviously this girl messed up her body by getting she messed up her body by getting the abortion. Exactly. So it's not consequence free for the woman either. Right. You know, and they know that. What are you, get the fuck behind me, bro. What are you, idiot? Don't know how, does not know how to zipper merge. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So obviously it's not consequence free. Yeah. And I don't think our culture is forthcoming enough about that shit.
Exactly.
That it's not consequence free for your body. Like, you're going to damage your organs.
Gotcha.
So, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, I love that saying when it's appropriate. I think
at taxpayers' expense of that.
Well, you know, I am glad to put my taxes towards abortions that I agree are justified.
Sure.
And I go through due process, right? But not to the girl who had 13 abortions. But you know what's a crazy fact, and you probably already know this, is with the introduction of the pill, abortions actually increased.
They did?
Abortions actually increased significantly. And I think that's because women became a lot less discerning and responsible with how they were having sex.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, you've gotta be responsible with your body. It's not all on men to be responsible with your body.
No.
Like, men play their role, for sure, but you've gotta take accountability and ownership of what you do with your body. And a lot of women, like, don't even want that responsibility.
No,
and it's like, figure it out, dude. Like, what? Come on. You can't just continue blaming the whole world. Like, take some ownership.
Exactly.
Take some ownership. But they don't. But most of them don't want it.
No.
And it's like, that's not going to lead anywhere good for you. It won't.
And I think that's one of the big things in our society is having that view of my accountability for my actions. Instead, people are like, I fucked up, but damn it, you're going to help me fix it.
I don't even think that.
Dude,
I don't even think
I don't.
No. I don't think that's what people do. I think people do, you fucked up, so you're going to help me fix my problem. They don't even say I fucked up.
Yeah.
You're
right.
They say you fucked up, so you need to help me fix it. Mm. And the crazy thing is they don't understand how much they disempower themselves through that. Because now you are giving the power for the outcomes you enjoy to someone else. Be like, hey, you are responsible for producing the outcomes I want.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of taking accountability and ownership and responsibility and empowering yourself to produce the outcomes you want, you give that power to other people. And then complain when you don't get what you want. And it's like, well, be more accountable. It's like, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, dude. It's just like, but it's a tall order. It's a tall order on the individual. And I think especially as we occupy such a society that's become so atomized. One of my friends used that word recently. I think it's like a great way to describe it.
Truly
a society that has become so atomized. Like, where do you have the support? You know, if we look at in aggregate how many people spend more time alone now and don't have strong social circles and don't have a real strong, robust sense of community that shows up when it matters.
Right.
You know, when you don't have the support, it's so much of a taller order to take responsibility for everything. And I think that's a big part of the problem is we are not well enough connected and you know, our community values have kind of disintegrated.
I totally agree with that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are coming around and seeing it for what it is and understanding the solution as well. I think slowly but surely permeating our culture, and I think it's good that it's happening, but it can't happen fast enough.
No.
it can't happen because we've got a lot of repair to do.
Yes, we do.
We've got a lot of repair to do. And it sucks to say it, but it's gonna fall to. Well, how old are you? About 40?
I'm 41.
You're 41. Yeah, I'll be 30 in a couple of days. Well, like a couple of weeks, but that responsibility is gonna fall to like people our age to do all the repair work. And if we fail, the generations behind us are gonna suffer.
Oh God, yeah.
They're already suffering for what the people ahead of us haven't done.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be up to us to do the repair work and to lead them into a better future.
Exactly.
And help to guide them. And it's just, I don't know, but I'm hopeful for our ability to assume that responsibility and to do well with it.
I would agree with that.
I think we're coming around. I think
our generations have tried to take everything, life by the bootstrap, get it figured out, own what we need to do. But I really feel like a lot more of us need to climb on the train.
Yeah. And as it stands right now, like
You actually want to say that?
Yeah, I see it now. I said something recently, it's just because you said train, but I was like, I've kind of reached the point where like I've shed most of the people in the community that like I attracted through who I used to be.
Yeah.
Because I've changed a lot, and I found different grounding and conviction in who I actually am and what I want and how I want to move through the world. And people tend to fall away when you do that.
They do.
But now, I've said the past couple months, it's like, look, I don't have time. Like this train is fucking moving.
Yep.
And I mean me and what I'm going to do with my life. And I'm not slowing down or reducing myself for anyone anymore. For no one. Because I spent 30 years reducing myself to try to fit into the boxes that other people want you to fit into.
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's done me no fucking favors.
No.
Not a single one. And so now it's like, look, if you want to be on the train, cool, hop the fuck on. But I'm not stopping and I'm not slowing down.
Absolutely.
If you can hop on, get on. Let's go. Let's fucking go. But I'm done reducing myself.
More people need to look at it that way. But I totally agree with you.
But it's hard to in today's world, man.
It is.
Because again, like, where's the support for that?
It's a matter of, there was a point in time where that support was there just empirically.
Mm-hmm.
Where now, if we want that support, we almost have to go searching for it.
Well, I love that because now, like I'm saying, it's everything I thought I valued. Mm-hmm. The past couple of years has just kind of crumbled away.
Absolutely, yeah. Totally.
And now I've had to really ground myself in how do I value myself and what, because now I've got so much open space in my life. So much open space in my life to fill with new people who are actually going to be more aligned with what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't even have like a super clear, concise concept of it, but I'm building it better now.
Take this right a little faster.
Because I don't have the distractions of trying to fit myself into a box. But I like the idea, and as far as I can tell, this is kind of how it works.
Yeah.
The world tends to sort itself out around you as you show up in the world.
Yeah.
Based on the way you show up as an actor in the world.
Absolutely.
And I'm just, the world is slowly sorting itself out around me, and I'm just continuing to press into the world.
Right.
And what I need to happen will happen.
The benefit you have, I think, over a lot of people is you found your sense of self. Right here, Scott.
Oh, it was hard won, bro.
Yeah.
It took a lot. But I feel like I'm well grounded in it now.
Heck yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah, man.
I do a podcast.
Okay.
Would you be okay with me stripping the audio from this and putting it on the internet?
Yeah, man. Why not?
Yeah, I'll protect your identity and stuff too.
Yeah, you do that. Why not, man?
Sweet. Thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
Hey, pleasure meeting you. Don't forget that envelope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Take good care.
Awesome, dude.
Be safe.
You do the same, brother. Later.